Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bancorp South. Just one game last week, a overtime battle with the Blazers of UAB at Reed Green Coliseum. And the Golden Eagles are off next week to play a couple of ball games on the road as they'll travel up to Western Kentucky and to Old Dominion. But, Doc, let's talk first, I guess, about the game on Saturday at Reed Green Coliseum against UAB. Second time you've met these guys this year. The first game was a nail-biter, 73-68 win for the Golden Eagles. Unfortunately, this time in overtime, UAB hangs on to win it 76-72.
Yeah, it was a good game. Obviously, I think both times we've played them this year have gone, back and forth for 40 minutes, and this one even went a little longer in overtime. But you got to give UAB credit. They made some plays down the stretch that put them in position to get into overtime, and then when they got into overtime, we made some mental mistakes defensively and gave them some easy baskets, and that was pretty much the difference in the ball game. We've not been making those mistakes, but in this ball game we got hurt from the backside of our defense, and instead of making them score with us between them and the basket, we gave them easy baskets. And when it gets to overtime, you're not going to be able to do that, and because on the other end it's too hard to score, and that was the biggest difference in the ball game.
You had said before the ball game one of the keys was limit their offensive rebounds in the ball game. Did you feel like you were able to do that in that game? Yeah,
obviously, we only gave them 3 offensive rebounds, and I don't know that they got any transition points. So. We left a lot of points on the floor. We got, we probably left 8 to 10 points on the floor in transition that we just, had the advantage and didn't finish the play, after we made a defensive play or we got a long rebound. And, in tight ball games, and every game from here on out is going to be this way. You can't leave points on the board. When you get an opportunity to get some easy baskets, you better take advantage of them, especially because we don't get a lot of offensive rebounds. But, I can sit and talk about what we didn't do, but you also got to give them credit for what they did do.
We're getting ready to go to our feature segment. One of the features this week is on one of your assistant coaches, Clarence Weatherspoon, who obviously everybody knows Clarence's legacy here and what he did at the Southern Miss, and then 13 or 14 years in the NBA. What's he meant to you as an assistant on your staff?
Well, I think anytime you can, John, have somebody on your staff that went to school where the school means so much to you, and Spoon's one of those guys that had a lot of success here, but he's also one of those people that he and his wife Hazel have given so much back to this university. So that his heart's in the right place, and he's going to be such an ambassador for your program throughout the state. Everybody knows him. He's done a tremendous job recruiting, and just having him show up each and every day on the practice court. I'm not for sure players really take advantage as much as he has to give, but he's a guy that really, really bleeds, black and gold, and is just a terrific person on top of being obviously a great player back in his days and a terrific coach now.
So Clarence Weatherspoon, one of our features this week. So sit back and enjoy our feature segments. We'll come back and then talk about what's coming up for the Golden Eagles.
I grew up in South Georgia. In the beginning, when I was a child and stuff, I grew up like in baseball and stuff at first, and then I was always a big kid, so I wanted to play football at first. I had no idea what basketball was. I didn't even watch it. I didn't know how to play it or nothing. But I was always the tallest kid, and everybody would tell me, play basketball, play basketball. You need to play for an organized team. So when I finally got to high school, I joined 9th grade varsity. And since I've always had size on me, ever since I was a little kid, that kind of helped me stay with the older guys, just stay on their level. But I was always playing catch up and stuff. But after about a year or two, that's when I finally caught on and I started to develop. Where I need to get better in my game, I feel like I need to still get in better shape. I need to be able to run the floor more efficiently and more often so I can be able to create more plays for myself. And I already can shoot the basketball. I know a lot of people get surprised when I shoot threes and stuff, but back in the day, that's kind of what separated myself from the other big guys, you know, and just instead of just banging down low, I can bring them out, and I can be dangerous on both the perimeter and down low in the paint. This team this year has been the most focused team, in my opinion, and when it comes to approaching the next game and stuff. Like when we do scout and stuff, we're really tuned in, and then I feel like we stuck together as a team to build something like that we know we can accomplish, because you know, everybody saw back in the day we were struggling a lot, but I feel like this team right now this year, we have that want-to in us, and we have more drive in us to accomplish something bigger. What I do on my downtime at home, usually after practice and school, I only have time to play video games and stuff. Of course, everybody loves video games. But when I do have extra time to myself, I like to go outside and do stuff. I love to fish. Fishing is one of my favorite things to do. Well, I think it's a great opportunity to wear the black and gold, because it's opening up a lot of doors for me in the future. And I also get to meet a lot of good people. There's a lot of good people here at the school, and I made a lot of good relationships. And I really like that about the Southern Miss.
The coaching aspect came from being competitive, and when I had the opportunity to go back with Coach Davidson up at Ridgeland High School, you know, Clay was coming into the 9th grade, and you know, they gave me a chance to continue to be around him and give back to the community and give back to the kids a little knowledge of the game, and you know, I ended up liking it, and so you know, being competitive, you know, you want to be a part of the growth of something and the development of it, and you know, and I actually end up liking it. Well, the things that you know you like about coaching is definitely working with you know, the kids, working with the other coaches, the staff, but the competition of it, you know, the preparation of it, the teaching of it, the development of it is what draws, you know, what drew me back into it. So you know, and you know, after a while you get that competitive burn again, and you know, you want to get out there and see them do well. So you know, that's the draw of it. After me and Doc conversated a couple times on the phone, he asked me to come down and interview and visit with him. And you know, after 2 or 3 visits with him, you know, I always came to the game and stuff. You know, I always was part of, you know, of basketball and watching you know, the team and supporting the university. But when you get a chance to come back home, as they say, and you got a chance to help and be a part of the program, you know, that was, like I say, that's a big draw to it. Also, you know, being able to come back and being welcomed back, and you know, that's was one of the biggest draws. And I knew from being in, you know, in the coaching circles of Mississippi, I knew a lot of the younger high school coaches, and you know, a lot of the veteran coaches, and plus being able to be playing in the NBA would give me some, you know, insight on teaching and sharing my stories with the guys. You pull ideas and thoughts and philosophy from all the guys. I was blessed to be able to play with a great group of coaches. You know, even from my high school coach with Coach Granderson, he was a young coach that came in, and he developed young talent, and we was able to get to the state championship game where a new nucleus came to USM. Coach Turk had so much success at team building and stuff, had won the NIT, and it so happened that we came together, we win the conference, and we go to back-to-back NCAA tournament. Then you get drafted, you play with some of the best pro coaches ever, the Larry Browns, the Pat Rileys, the Van Gundy's, guys that done won a lot of basketball. So, you know, like I say, during my basketball career, my basketball experience, I've been blessed to be around a lot of coaches and a lot of good teachers of the game. So, and a lot of guys who know how to develop and push you and get the best out of you. Well, one of the things I say I try to push, and first off, is telling them play hard, confidence. Playing hard, confidence. Now you're building a work ethic. Now we're going to teach you how to do it the right way. Now we're trying to make you comfortable. So the first, I think, the first thing about learning this game is the speed and the pace of the game. Each level you go to is a different speed and pace. So a college level is different from a high school level. You thought you was playing hard, you thought you was competing. Now you got to push that button and go up to another floor, as I say on the elevator. So that's the thing I try to teach. Keep building, keep stacking. And I think that's the way you learn this game is from the very beginning, just keep building on what you done learned and your experiences. I came here as a student athlete, like I said, graduated from the university, played here, now, circle back to give some of the knowledges and the gifts that you don't receive from it. So now it's a high pride thing for me. It feels good to be able to be in this situation that in a position that you can give back and you can support the university at the highest level. So, it's a pride thing to wear the black and gold.
Been thinking about it since I was a kid.
Mom would be so proud.
If I could do it for a living.
Using my mom's recipes to open up a cupcake shop.
For my daughter to go to vet school.
Singing karaoke in all 50 states.
Captaining my own shrimp boat.
Tell us what you dream about. With the right loan or savings plan, we can make it a reality, no matter how crazy.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Keeping you within reach of what matters most. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Yeah, well, my journey career-wise, I really started at Millsaps College as an undergraduate. I worked in the sports information office and played baseball for 4 years and had an opportunity to serve as the director of media relations right after graduation. So I did that while I was going to business school, and then went to law school at Ole Miss and got involved in the athletic department in Oxford. And then I got a call to go out to the West Coast, and I worked for 12 and a half years at Santa Clara University in various capacities. And then the call to come home came, and we were really excited. My wife and I are both native Mississippians, and made the return trip to Mississippi, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a whirlwind few months. I came in as the Deputy Director of Athletics, and then had the opportunity to serve as the Interim AD, and having a lot of fun with it right now, and we're doing some fun things. Connecting to faculty and staff and students is critical for our future. I enjoy the interaction with Dr. Bennett and the President's Cabinet. I enjoy the interaction with faculty with whom I meet on campus. I enjoy the interaction particularly with the students, and certainly our student athletes, and that gives me the most joy on a day-to-day basis, is the high fives and the fist bumps and running into them and recognizing, as a former student athlete myself, everything that goes into being a student athlete. I understand how hard they work. I understand the stress that they undergo on a daily basis, but what joy it brings to them to put on the Golden Eagle uniform and compete. And in a very similar way, the passion exists throughout the university, and the work that goes on amongst faculty and staff can't be underappreciated, and I just enjoy the interaction. I think it's fun. Well, I'm so proud of our teams and the way they have competed this year, and certainly are playing well, and on the men's side, I don't wish the NCAA infractions and the sanctions on anybody, and I'm very impressed with our senior class, with the adversity that they have faced, and you can tell that they're very connected and want to achieve something that maybe a few years ago was thought to be impossible. And so it's really exciting to watch them play, especially this time of the year. And as for the women, they've had an up and down year, but when they are connected and playing really well, they're a lot of fun to watch, and I'm proud of them. Beach volleyball starts its initial season at the University of Southern Mississippi, and it's a great sport. It's vibrant, it's fun for spectators, 2 versus 2. It's very similar to tennis in terms of how matches are won. You win 3 out of 5, and it's fast-paced, and it's a great complement to our indoor sport for volleyball, which, as we continue to build the new facility, we'll have a volleyball complex that is second to none in the country, and that is taking shape. We are somewhat on schedule. The rain recently is getting in the way a little bit, but our contractors are working hard to meet the timeline. We plan to open it this fall, and that will be just a tremendous facility for our volleyball program, and right across the street from the beach volleyball center as well. So we're excited about the future of those 2 programs. Well, I wake up every day prideful to put on the lapel pin. I do it, every time I wear a sport coat. And then certainly on Go Gold Fridays, when we're wearing gear as a part of the required wardrobe for the day, I smile every time I put it on, and I smile every time I see somebody wearing Southern Miss attire. It's the way it should be in a college town, and I get a lot of energy out of it and love doing it.
It's a crazy story because I never really was the type to like sports. But my mom was like, you have to do something, you can't always just be school, try to get involved. So I started with, I did volleyball at first, didn't really like it, and I did track and field, and I was actually pretty good at it. I did shot put, discus, and high jump, and I went to states in high school and stuff like that. It was good, but I just didn't like the outdoors. And AAU coach came up to me at one of the track meets and was like, you play ball? And I was like, no, I don't really like basketball. And he's like, well, you're pretty tall, you should try it. So I went out for his AAU team, and he ended up teaching me a lot of stuff, and I ended up actually liking it. Like, I was pretty good at it, so I just kept going with it, and it was pretty good since then. That was my 8th grade year, and ever since then, I just started playing it. And then that's when I just took off when I made it to high school.
Away from Leaphart, and she buries it.
Southern Miss, I chose Southern Miss because they were consistent. Like, even when I told them I didn't want, they offered me, I was like, no, I think I want to stay closer to home. I tried USF, I was verbally committed to USF, and towards my senior year, I was like, no, I don't think USF is kind of too close, so they end up offering me again, and I was like, they're really consistent. I never took a visit, and I was like, well, come visit and see if you like it. And I came and visited, and I only took one visit. This was my only visit. Well, actually, I went to Miami, but this is my only official visit, and I actually loved it. It was like a family-oriented atmosphere. Like, it was like another home away from home, and they actually genuinely cared about you and stuff like that outside of basketball. And they weren't just concerned about basketball. They were actually concerned about you as a person. How do you want to grow? What do you want to do? And how do you want to impact others and stuff like that? So I really liked that, and I enjoyed that. So I just knew it was a perfect fit for me. We don't really have much time outside of basketball, but when I do, I like to make music. Like, I like to write music, sing, rap, stuff like that. I like to listen to music on my free time. Like, anything involving like music is like, that's where I want to be at. It's relaxing to me. If I ever feel like I'm overwhelmed and I feel like I'm just basketball school, that's like my go-to. That's like my stress reliever right there. So I just go there.
Kick back to Leaphart, long 2.
Megan is the head of it all. I give it to her. I give it to her. Like, every day she comes with it. Like even if she doesn't feel like she comes with it. But I feel like I would consider myself more of a veteran, like who knows more and can help a lot more. And a lot of them say they look up to me, but you know, it's just, I guess, the way I move, the way I do things. So, I mean, I'm always there for them if they ever needed anything. I needed help with anything extra on the side. So, I mean, I guess I could be one of the leaders, you could say. After basketball, if it happens, it happens, but that's not really my goal to go continue to play ball or whatnot. I really want to go into like social work and stuff like that. Departments of children and family, stuff like that, investigation. I really do want to try to push my music further. You know, I'm not going to put my main thing into it, but I really want to use my degree first. But if I ever have time to use my music and stuff like that, I will try to push that, but not so much basketball.
And we're back on Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bancorp South. We just finished up looking at our features. We talked earlier about Clarence Weatherspoon. Doc, we also had a feature on Tim Rowe, the junior out of Lilburn, Georgia, a young man who's been around, it seems like, for a long time at Southern Miss. And, you know, Tim's had some ups and downs in his career, had some injuries, had to overcome, but probably playing his best basketball right now for Southern Miss.
There's no question about it. And, you know, Tim is one of those players that each and every year you just hope that he continues to get better and better and better. And right now, as you mentioned, he's playing probably as well as he can play. And he's going to be a big part of the success that we have in the last 7 or whatever ball games we get to play. And, you know, you've got to have a low post presence. The thing that I've been most proud with Tim in the last few games is he's beginning to rebound the basketball in his position and to defend it. And, you know, that's what we've got to have out of him. And hopefully the last 3 ball games that we play starting Sunday, you know, he'll be ready to give us his best game, because obviously he's got to go up against a great player at Western Kentucky. And he's got to be ready for that challenge.
Let's talk about those 2 games, Sunday in Bowling Green at the Diddle Arena against a Western Kentucky team that the Eagles battled to a 3-point ball game here at Reed Green Coliseum. What's the challenge that Western Kentucky brings, other than the fact you're going to play in the heart of basketball country? They have a great crowd in there on Sunday.
They really will. And, you know, they've got terrific players, and they got probably, you know, if not the best player in this league, one of them,
yeah.
You know, and he's going to be, he's a handful. You know, he's a guy that plays around that basket, so you've got to pay a lot of attention to him. And so it's going to be a difficult ball game. I thought that, you know, the first time we played them, the first half we were not aggressive at all, and I think scored 21 points. But the second half, against their zone, we were aggressive and came out and maybe scored 40 or whatever in the second half. And we're going to have that same aggressiveness. And as you mentioned, playing on the road at Western Kentucky is never easy. But, you know, you got to put that out of your mind and just go up there and understand that it's going to be a 40-minute ball game. And if you get fortunate to be in the game in the last 2 or 3 minutes, then you've got to make the plays just like UAB did last Saturday.
You are playing a Western Kentucky team that, as you said, probably plays more zone than they do man-to-man. That's a little different than what you see during the course of the season.
Yeah, in fact, they're playing more and more zone, and you know, we've got to, you know, we'll execute. We did a much better job last week against UAB than we've been playing. So zone right now is not giving us a problem. In fact, you know, in some way it gives us a little rest on the offensive end if we'll just move the basketball, and we're shooting the ball really well. So, hopefully we'll be aggressive Sunday when we play Western Kentucky.
Then a Wednesday game up in Norfolk, Virginia against Old Dominion. They're the league leader right now, and I look at that as a big opportunity. I mean, two big opportunities on the road at Western Kentucky and Old Dominion to get yourself right in the thick of things in this conference race.
Well, there's no question it's going to be a tough ball game, and like you say, we'll go from Bowling Green up to Norfolk, and play Sunday and then Wednesday. Very good basketball team. Right now they're leading the league, and but we do get an opportunity. I thought the first time we played them up there, it was wasn't one of our better games, but it wasn't really that bad of a game. We just couldn't make baskets. So hopefully, Wednesday night we'll do a good job of making some baskets and defend like we've been defending, and then also continue to rebound the basketball.
All right, looking forward to the games at Western Kentucky and Old Dominion. We'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks, John.
All right, Coach Doc Sadler and the Golden Eagles, Sunday at Western Kentucky, Wednesday at Old Dominion, as they go to play the final few games of this regular season before the Conference USA tournament in just a few weeks out in Frisco, Texas. That'll do it. Don't forget a show at the Walk-Ons in Hattiesburg. The Golden Eagle Hotline will be there talking Golden Eagle basketball, so come on by, visit with us, and we will do that. We'll talk about the Golden Eagles, a little Golden Eagle basketball. Have a great week, everybody. See you next time. Another inside look into Southern Miss basketball.
Been thinking about it since I was a kid.
Mom would be so proud.
If I could do it for a living,
Using my mom's recipes to open up a cupcake shop.
For my daughter to go to vet school.
singing karaoke in all 50 states.
Captaining my own shrimp boat.
Tell us what you dream about. With the right loan or savings plan, we can make it a reality, no matter how crazy.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Keeping you within reach of what matters most. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
Hey Southern Miss fans, it's Toby Barker, Mayor of Hattiesburg. Mickey Spagnola once wrote, "If you're going to war and you get to choose first, choose Southern Mississippi. Always choose Southern Mississippi. Don't fight Southern Mississippi, because no matter how hard you fight, those folks will fight harder." His words capture the character of our institution and our city. We here in Hattiesburg are writing a new story, one where we rise to our challenges with great excitement, one where we push our city to reach its potential, and most importantly, one where there's real partnership between the University of Southern Mississippi and the city of Hattiesburg. Southern Miss is vital to our city's success, from the quality of life it provides through athletics and the arts to the talent it cultivates in the classroom. We share a common destiny. Hattiesburg is proud to be Mississippi's college city, and we hope as we go forward you'll join us in supporting our Golden Eagles this season as they go to the top.